chosen one. You are not here by accident. Something holy guided you to this very moment, at this exact point in your journey, because heaven has a message that cannot wait another second. What I'm about to tell you is real, and if your spirit feels it stirring already, it's because you're standing at the edge of a supernatural shift, a divine wealth transfer that has been written into your story long before you ever prayed for it. Chosen one. The delay is breaking. The atmosphere around your life is changing. What once felt distant is now pressing against your reality with force, with purpose, with destiny. You have been led here by divine appointment, the same way God spoke in Joshua chapter 1 verse 9, commanding courage before the blessing arrived. Something similar is happening in you right now. The heavens have aligned this moment to awaken what has been dormant, to activate what has been promised, to release what has been withheld. Anointed. One, you are crossing into a realm where spiritual inheritance becomes tangible, where invisible provision becomes visible manifestation. Prepare your heart, open your spirit. What comes next will change everything. Chosen one. Before we go any deeper into this divine revelation, I need you to understand something sacred. Heaven has orchestrated this very moment with precision. You are not hearing this by chance. You are not sitting here because of curiosity. You are here because the Spirit has placed a pull on your heart, a tug that refuses to let you drift back into the ordinary. There is something rising around you, something rising within you, and it is time for you to recognize it. Chosen one, as you listen, let the atmosphere around you shift. Let the noise soften. Let the world slow down just enough for your spirit to hear what your mind has tried to ignore. Because this is not just another message. This is an announcement, a prophetic summons. A signal that the season you have been surviving is not the season you are about to enter. Something holy is aligning. Something ancient is remembering your name. And before we move deeper, I need to ask you to take one simple step of faith. Hit that like button, subscribe, and leave the number 99 in the comments. Not because the number has magic, but because agreement carries power. 99 is a sign of completion being formed in the unseen, a sign that what has been circling your life is about to land. It marks you as someone ready to receive, ready to step forward, ready to say, I am here and I'm listening. To every chosen one who supports this space, whether through presence, words, or giving, you are not just a viewer. You are a collaborator in a divine assignment. I say this from experience. When you sow into what God is building, heaven marks that seed with purpose. I have lived through seasons where I had nothing but faith to give, and somehow that faith became the bridge to doors I never imagined could open. So understand me when I say your seed is not random. It is alignment. It is declaration. It is movement. Anointed. One, breathe. Feel the stillness rising. It's subtle at first, a quieting of the mind, a settling of the heart, but it grows. It grows into a sense that something sacred is drawing near. That's how it begins. That's how it has always begun for me. Every time God prepared me for a shift, the world around me dimmed, so my spirit could detect what my eyes couldn't yet see. Listen closely now. Heaven is calling your name the same way God called to Moses from the burning bush, directly, intentionally, unmistakably. Not with fear, not with pressure, but with that deep inner knowing you cannot shake. You have walked through seasons where you forgot your own strength, seasons where distractions drowned your purpose, seasons where you gave your best and received silence in return. But now, right now, the divine hand is reaching through that silence, pulling you up, pulling you out, pulling you into alignment with what has been promised over your life. Chosen. 1. You are being summoned to the shoreline of destiny, and the waves are rising. Chosen 1. As you stand at this shoreline of destiny, I want you to feel what is happening beneath the surface of your life. There is a current, moving, quiet, strong, undeniable. It is the kind of movement that does not announce itself with noise, but with recognition. Your spirit knows it. Something inside you has been whispering. Change is coming. Something is shifting long before your mind could understand it. And you are right. You are not imagining this pull. You are responding to a divine invitation. Anointed 1. Imagine the waves rising before you not as chaos, but as confirmation. Every swell carries meaning. Every movement carries instruction. This is the love of God drawing you forward, not with pressure, but with purpose. It is the same promise spoken in the psalm where God assures, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. And right now, His loving eye is resting on you. Steady, deliberate, unblinking. Heaven is guiding you step by step into a gathering that was prepared long before you arrived on this earth. I need you to picture something in your spirit, a sacred assembly forming in the unseen. A convergence of awakened souls, those who carry fragments of holy fire, those who like you have endured breaking so they could hold blessing. They are being summoned to the same circle you are being called into, a circle where purpose, destiny, and divine assignment intertwine. Chosen 1, listen. You are being drawn into this circle not by coincidence, not by curiosity, but by lineage of spirit. Your soul recognizes this moment because it has heard this call long before your body existed. This is why certain people never understood you. This is why certain places could never contain you. This is why your spirit always felt older than your age, wiser than your experiences. You were marked for something greater, and now that greater is beginning to reveal itself. Within this sacred circle is your true tribe, the ones who carry the same spiritual frequency, the ones who see you beyond your appearance, the ones who recognize your calling even when you don't speak it aloud. They are the ones who will uplift you, sharpen you, strengthen you, and walk beside you with fierce holy loyalty. Some among them will become the allies you have prayed for in silence. And yes, one among them may be the soulmate your spirit has felt, but your eyes have not yet seen the one whose presence feels like coming home. But hear me, chosen 1, to step into this circle, you must rise above the shadows that once held you hostage. You must release the fears that whispered you weren't ready. You must lay down the distractions that drained your power and dulled your insight. Because what is calling you now is bigger than fear, louder than doubt, and more sacred than anything you've carried before. God is positioning you for a holy encounter. I say this as someone who has lived through these divine interruptions. They come suddenly, but never without purpose. And when they come, everything shifts: your steps, your vision, your understanding of yourself. Chosen 1. Heaven is aligning something for you that your past could never have prepared you for. Chosen 1. As you move deeper into this message, I want you to slow your breath and let your spirit open, because what is unfolding in your life right now is not ordinary transition, it is divine acceleration. You are stepping into a season where heaven refuses to let you remain in the spaces that once confined you. The currents beneath your life are shifting with force, and whether you feel fully ready or not, God is positioning you for a supernatural rise that will redefine everything you thought you understood about timing, purpose, and destiny. Every moment you have lived has been leading you here. The delays that frustrated you, the closed doors that left you confused, the detours that made no sense, none of them were coincidences. They were recalibrations. They were the unseen hand of God guiding you away from what would have drained you and toward what would eventually crown you. You were not being denied. You were being prepared. Anointed one. What is stirring inside you is the same stirring I once felt before my life shifted in ways I could never have imagined. I remember the season clearly, the heaviness, the uncertainty, the strange inner pull that told me something was coming, even though nothing around me seemed to change. I didn't recognize it at first, but what I was feeling was the early tremor of divine movement. And that is exactly what you are feeling now, that quiet awareness that something is aligning, that inner restlessness that refuses to let you settle, that sudden desire to prepare even when you don't know what you're preparing for. These are signs that heaven is active. These are signs that destiny is drawing near. Chosen one. Hear me, God is strengthening you and elevating you with a force that mirrors the promise spoken in Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. His support is not distant. It is not symbolic. It is living, moving, and shaping your path with intentional precision. You are not walking into this next chapter alone. You are being upheld. You are being guided. You are being carried into a realm where supernatural provision and divine promotion meet. But you must also recognize that this window of opportunity, this sacred alignment, will not remain open indefinitely. There are moments. Heaven designs moments when the atmosphere is ripe, moments when your spirit is ready, and this is one of them. Hesitation in such seasons becomes costly. Doubt becomes a weight. Overthinking becomes the very thing that delays what God is trying to hand you. Chosen one. Everything beyond this moment is calling you into transformation. Not the subtle kind that adjusts your mindset, but the powerful kind that restructures your entire life. Your relationships will shift, your assignments will expand, your confidence will strengthen, your vision will sharpen. You are shedding the version of yourself that merely survived and stepping into the version destined to lead, to build, to shine. I know this path. I've walked it. And I tell you from lived experience, when God begins to rearrange your life, it is not to take from you, but to make room for what you once believed was impossible. Chosen one. You are entering a holy recalibration, a supernatural elevation, a divine restructuring of your destiny. Everything is preparing to shift, and this is your moment to rise. Chosen one. As this awakening deepens, I want you to realize something essential. The transformation happening within you is not random. It is intentional, strategic, and deeply spiritual. Heaven is not just shifting what is around you. Heaven is shifting what is inside you, your inner world, your discernment, your sensitivity to divine direction, your ability to recognize spiritual timing. All of it is being tuned with extraordinary precision. You are being refined so that you can carry what is coming without breaking under the weight of it. Anointed one. Imagine your soul as an instrument being carefully adjusted by the hand of God. Each string represents a part of your being, your faith, your courage, your identity, your purpose, your spiritual authority. And one by one, God is tightening, loosening, aligning, bringing each string into perfect harmony so that when the divine melody begins to play, you will resonate with heaven itself. That is what this season is, divine tuning. It is the quiet work, the hidden work, the work that no one sees, but everyone will eventually notice. This is why distractions have felt heavier lately, why noise irritates your spirit faster than it used to. Why your appetite for shallow conversations, meaningless routines, or draining relationships has been dissolving. Your spirit is rejecting anything that pulls you away from alignment, because alignment is the gateway to elevation, and elevation is the assignment on your life right now. Chosen one, you are being invited into deep inward focus. Not isolation, but consecration. Not withdrawal, but refinement. There comes a moment in every chosen soul's journey where the world grows loud, but the spirit grows louder. Where the external loses its grip and the internal begins to rise. This is that moment for you. In my own journey, I remember a season where everything around me felt like static. People's opinions, expectations, responsibilities, even opportunities that looked good on the surface but felt wrong in my spirit. I didn't understand it at first. I thought maybe I was overwhelmed or tired, but later I realized it was God calling me inward, pulling me into stillness so He could show me the path I couldn't see while moving. And when I finally listened, clarity came like a flood. Decisions became easier, discernment sharpened, fear dissolved. That is the power of inward alignment. Chosen one. God is calling you into that same quiet sanctuary now, the place where distractions lose their power, where clarity becomes loud, where your spirit can finally breathe. It is in this sacred silence where you will begin to recognize the signals, signs, and promptings that have been trying to reach you for months. Repeated numbers, persistent dreams, sudden inner knowing, coincidences too perfectly timed to ignore. These are not random moments, they are divine breadcrumbs leading you toward your next level. Your energy in this season must be cherished, protected, and directed with intention. When you scatter it across meaningless pursuits, it weakens. But when you gather it inward, it becomes power. It becomes vision. It becomes supernatural magnetism that draws breakthrough into your life. This is why your spirit is craving stillness. This is why your heart is seeking depth. This is why the divine is calling you away from noise and toward inner clarity. Chosen one, listen closely. When you turn inward, heaven turns toward you. When you listen deeply, direction becomes clear. When you align fully, breakthrough becomes inevitable. Chosen one. As you continue to lean into this sacred unfolding, I want you to understand that the work God is doing within you is preparing you for a release so profound that even you will be amazed by what begins to manifest. This is not surface-level change. This is not a mild adjustment to your mindset or a slight shift in your circumstances. This is a restructuring of your spiritual foundation, a refining of your inner compass, and an awakening of your divine identity. The way you think, the way you perceive, the way you respond to life, everything is being elevated so you can walk in the fullness of what heaven is preparing to place in your hands. Anointed one. The expectations others once placed upon you are falling away. The pressure to fit into roles that never aligned with your spirit is dissolving, and the belief that your worth is determined by what people see is being stripped from your soul. You are being reintroduced to yourself, the version God intended before the world tried to reshape you. This is why your heart has been restless. This is why you've been losing interest in things that once occupied your time. This is why the approval of others no longer satisfies you. Heaven is pulling you into identity, not image, into purpose, not performance. Chosen one. There is a deeper truth rising in you. You were never meant to live based on applause. You were meant to live based on assignment. And your assignment is awakening. You may not fully see it yet, but you can feel the shift. Something in your spirit is standing taller. Something in your soul is refusing to shrink again. Something inside you knows your next season requires a stronger version of you, a braver version of you, a more surrendered version of you. This is where the divine responsibility comes in. Blessings are not just gifts, they are tools. They are seeds placed in the hands of someone God trusts to multiply them with intention. Think of yourself as a gardener of spiritual soil. What God places in your life must be tended, nurtured, honored, and stewarded. This is why the divine has been pruning you, removing habits that drain you, relationships that dim you, and thought patterns that limit you. What feels like loss is creating room for expansion. What feels like discomfort is making space for capacity. I've walked through this process myself, and I remember the confusion that came with it. I didn't recognize at first that God was removing what could not remain in the next chapter. People drifted, opportunities closed, doors that looked promising suddenly shut. It stung, but with time I understood God wasn't taking from me, He was taking what was misaligned away from me. Everything lost was clearing space for everything promised. And when the new season finally arrived, I realized none of the old structures could have supported it. Chosen one, you are in your pruning season, and that is a sign of favor, not rejection. You are being shaped into someone who can carry influence without breaking, who can hold blessing without losing yourself, and who can walk in purpose without looking back. What is forming in you now is strength. What is rising in you now is clarity. What is aligning in you now is destiny. Chosen one, surrender to this refining. Your next elevation depends on it. On Chosen One. As this divine refining continues, you are stepping into a dimension of trust that many never reach. This is the stage where heaven begins to reveal the wisdom behind your waiting, the purpose behind your delays, and the meaning behind every closed door. What once felt like stagnation is now being exposed as strategic preparation. What you thought was God withholding from you was actually God protecting you. And what you saw as detours were the exact pathways that led you to this moment of supernatural alignment. Anointed One. Trusting God's timing is not passive. It is an active surrender, a daily decision to walk forward even when the path is dimly lit. Fear whispers that you are behind. Doubt tries to tell you that you missed your moment, but heaven is saying something radically different. You are right on schedule. There is nothing late about your life. There is nothing wasted. Every experience, every lesson, every heartbreak, every victory has positioned you exactly where you need to be for what is unfolding next. I know this tension well. In my own journey, there were seasons when the silence felt unbearable. Seasons where I questioned everything: my purpose, my direction, even my worth. I thought God had forgotten me, or that maybe I had misunderstood His voice. But later, when the breakthrough finally came, I saw it clearly. I wasn't being punished. I was being prepared. I wasn't being delayed. I was being developed. And if the blessing had arrived sooner, I would not have been spiritually strong enough to carry it. That realization changed everything. It pulled me out of frustration and into faith. Chosen One. You're standing in that same holy tension now. You're in the space between who you used to be and who you are becoming. It feels uncomfortable because transformation always begins with disruption. It feels uncertain because the old chapter has ended, but the new one has not fully revealed itself. But remember, roots grow deep before anything breaks through the soil. Growth is happening in places your eyes cannot yet see. This is why stillness has been calling your name. Stillness is not inactivity. It is activation. It is the spiritual posture that allows you to hear God clearly, to sense His nudges, to align with His timing. When you quiet the noise around you, something powerful begins to happen. Direction rises. Fear softens. Confusion dissolves. And what once felt impossible starts to feel inevitable. Chosen One discipline becomes your anchor in this season, not rigid control, but holy intention. The quiet strength that aligns your actions with your purpose. The spiritual posture that says, I am preparing for what I have prayed for. Many believe discipline restricts, but in the spiritual realm, discipline frees. It cuts through chaos. It clarifies your steps. It signals to heaven that you are ready to receive more. This is the version of you. God is shaping the version who walks with integrity, who moves with clarity, who refuses to shrink, and who honors the calling resting on your life. When you embrace this discipline, your spirit becomes sharper. Your intuition strengthens. Your endurance deepens. You begin to walk not by sight, but by divine awareness. Chosen One, trust this part of your journey. Trust the timing. Trust the process. Trust the God who has never failed you. You are becoming someone who is ready to carry blessing, authority, and supernatural breakthrough. And heaven is preparing to open a door no man can shut. Chosen One. As you move further into this unfolding, something extraordinary is happening within you. Your energy, your focus, your spiritual awareness, they are no longer scattered in all directions the way they once were. They are gathering, concentrating, aligning. And this alignment is not just emotional or mental, it is spiritual. It is the gathering of your life force for the exact breakthrough heaven has ordained. You are not becoming weaker, you are becoming sharper. You are not losing interest, you are losing distractions. You are not withdrawing, you are being repositioned. Anointed One. Every thought you hold in this season carries weight. Every emotion you entertain carries frequency. Every choice you make carries spiritual consequence. When your energy aligns with God's presence, you become a magnet for clarity, wisdom, and supernatural favor. This is why heaven has been nudging you away from the things that drain you. Not to deprive you, but to prepare you. Because what is coming, what is forming, even now, requires focus, intentionality, and a spirit free from unnecessary burdens. In my own walk, I remember the moment when I realized that my energy was my responsibility, that I could not continue pouring into things that offered no return, that I could not keep giving pieces of myself to places where my spirit was starving. It took time, but eventually I learned that protecting my energy was not selfish, it was sacred. And when I began redirecting my focus inward, something powerful shifted. Ideas became clearer. Decisions felt lighter. The path ahead no longer looked intimidating, it looked illuminated. That was the moment I understood. Focus is a spiritual weapon. Chosen One. This same weapon is being placed in your hands right now. The inward focus you are being called into is not an escape from the world. It is the doorway to your next dimension. When you turn your attention inward toward God, toward your purpose, toward your spirit, you activate a level of inner mastery that dismantles the confusion that once consumed you. You begin to see what matters and what never did. You begin to sense opportunities before they arrive. You begin to walk with authority rather than fear. This is why your spirit has been urging you to slow down, to breathe, to listen, to separate from noise, to protect your peace with the same vigilance you protect your dreams. Because peace is not passive, it is prophetic. It prepares you to hear direction before others can see it. It positions you to receive without striving. It anchors you so deeply in God's timing that no storm can uproot you. Chosen One, heaven is sharpening your discernment. Signs are beginning to appear around you, not random, not coincidental, but intentional. Repeated numbers that catch your eye at the perfect moment. Dreams that linger in your mind long after you wake. Sudden urges to change direction, to let go, to pursue something new. These are not accidents. These are divine breadcrumbs leading you toward a supernatural intersection where purpose and provision meet. And hear this clearly, your past is not a chain. It is a foundation. It forged your strength. It shaped your vision. It trained your spirit. Nothing you have lived through is wasted, not a tear, not a trial, not a victory. All of it is preparing you for the rise ahead. Chosen One, your clarity is returning. Your discernment is awakening. Your destiny is drawing near. Chosen One. As we step into this final stretch of the message, understand that what is awakening within you now is not subtle, it is seismic. This is the threshold moment your spirit has been sensing, the moment when everything inside you begins to rise into alignment with everything heaven has prepared. What God is doing in you is not small, it is not temporary, it is not symbolic. It is a full-scale spiritual renewal that will touch every layer of your life, your identity, your relationships, your resources, your purpose, and your destiny. Anointed One, you are entering a chapter where the blessings you once imagined as distant possibilities are now drawing near with speed, intention, and unmistakable clarity. These blessings were not random. They were not delayed because you were unworthy. They were preserved until your spirit was strong enough to receive them without losing yourself. Heaven waits until the heart is ready and your heart is finally opening. Surrender is no longer something you resist, it is something you crave. You have begun releasing what once felt impossible to let go of. You have softened places inside yourself that were once hardened by disappointment. You have allowed God to touch wounds you kept hidden for years. And because of that, healing has begun to flow. Chosen One. This healing is not gentle, it is transformative. It is restoring years of exhaustion, reshaping the fractures of old heartbreak, and releasing you from the heaviness you carried in silence. You are being cleared on the inside so that the blessings on the outside have space to take root. Just as the prophet declared that God would restore the years stolen, heaven is now honoring that promise in your life. What you thought was gone forever is returning in a higher form, stronger, purer, multiplied. As your heart heals, something powerful begins to rise, momentum. A divine momentum that pushes open doors you once assumed were sealed shut. Opportunities that once ignored you will begin to seek you. People who could not recognize your value before will see you with new eyes. Favor that was blocked will flow without resistance. And clarity, real, holy clarity, will illuminate every decision, every step, every direction. Anointed, One God is not only guiding you, He is accompanying you, walking with you, lifting you, aligning every thread of your journey with surgical precision. You will begin to meet people who feel like answers. Connections that feel ordained. Partnerships that strengthen rather than drain you. Among these new alignments may be the soulmate your spirit has long felt, but your eyes have not yet encountered someone whose presence steadies you, supports you, and magnifies your purpose. These relationships will not bring confusion, they will bring confirmation. Chosen One, as you rise, heaven is surrounding you with a spiritual network of protection and guidance. Angels, unseen helpers, and awakened souls are being assigned to your path. You will begin sensing this support in quiet moments, in sudden peace, in unexpected courage, in a knowing that you are no longer standing alone. And now the divine invites you into stillness one more time, because in that stillness, revelation waits. In that stillness, courage grows. In that stillness, the final pieces of this awakening fall into place. Nothing ahead of you is accidental. Nothing is random. Every blessing, every breakthrough, every connection, every moment has been prepared with love. Chosen one, this is your time. This is your awakening, and heaven is walking with you into the new chapter that now begins to rise. Chosen one. As we close this message, stay in this sacred stillness a moment longer. Something within you has awakened, and heaven is confirming it even now. You are standing in a divine intersection, a kairos moment, crafted specifically for your elevation. What has stirred in your spirit throughout this word is not emotion, it is recognition. The supernatural transfer assigned to your life has already begun to move in your direction. What once felt delayed is now accelerating. What once felt distant is drawing near. Heaven is aligning every detail with precision. Anointed one. The noise of the world may try to pull you back into old patterns, but hear me, you have crossed a spiritual threshold. You cannot return to who you were before this moment. Your clarity is rising, your purpose is sharpening, your spirit is stepping into the authority it was always meant to carry. God is positioning you, strengthening you, and preparing you for impact. Nothing about your calling is small. Nothing about your future is accidental. You are being guided into abundance, restoration, and breakthrough with a love that has never failed you. May every door assigned to your destiny open with ease. May every blessing preserved for this season find its way into your hands. May peace become your anchor and discernment your compass. You are covered. You are chosen. You are ready. Chosen one. If this message resonated deeply, let your agreement be known. Leave a word of faith in the comments, subscribe if you feel led, and share this revelation with someone whose spirit is awakening. Walk forward now with gratitude, expectation, and holy confidence. Heaven is moving, your path is opening, and your new chapter begins today. Chosen one. You are not here by accident. Something holy guided you to this very moment, at this exact point in your journey, because heaven has a message that cannot wait another second. What I'm about to tell you is real, and if your spirit feels it stirring already, it's because you're standing at the edge of a supernatural shift, a divine wealth transfer that has been written into your story long before you ever prayed for it. Chosen one. The delay is breaking.